Hello again, everybody, and welcome to our first edition of Wolf Tracks this year. I'm Pat Austria.
And I'm Jessica Schnabel. This program is about students and staff around the South Kitsap School District area doing interesting things. It's all produced by the video production class here at South.
In the next half hour, you will have a chance to meet the new South Kitsap principal, Mr. Dave Colombini.
We'll show you how a special one-on-one program here at South is helping keep teens from dropping out of school.
And we've got sports. What's the secret of success for SK's powerful girls soccer team? And we'll take you behind the scenes of the cable broadcast of SK's football games.
Last year, longtime South principal Steve Wilson retired, and so this year, a new principal's at the helm. Let's meet him. This is South Kitsap High School, a big school with a very big population. With over 2,500 students attending South Kitsap, it's almost like a small city. And with that comes your average everyday problems. The person you just seen was Mr. Colombini, the new principal of South Kitsap High School. Except, how exactly did he become principal? I don't know. Let's find out.
The way it worked here was I had a panel of students that met me, greeted me, gave me a tour of the building, asked me several questions, and then I sat down at a computer and answered 3 questions in a written form. Then I went upstairs to a panel of about 14 different people sitting at a table, big, large table. And there was students on that panel, teachers, custodians, parents, and the big brass from the district office. And they asked about 13 questions.
During my interview with Mr. Colombini, he pointed out a major problem that he'd like to avoid. Garbage. It's everywhere. However, it's not the students that are doing it. It's the birds.
Well, because I could stand here out my window and watch them. And because that really
You didn't chase him away, Colombini?
it doesn't, they don't. I went, hey, you, knock that off. They didn't pay attention.
First of all, I just want to let you guys know we want to have a safe haven here at South Kitsap High School. And again, I say, love is the answer, not fighting, violence. We want a nonviolence campus here. We are here to learn and not to kickbox.
We have a little over 2,500 kids. That's 2,500 students at this school. And it has to be a safe place. Because if it isn't a safe place, you're not going to want to come here. It's hard to move in and out of the hallways during passing. There are a lot of kids. When you get a lot of volume, it's hard to move. And a wolf by itself is not as strong as the pack. The strength is in the pack. And the challenge becomes, are you ready to be a part of that pack? And what it truly means to have is a matter of pride. So I want you to walk out of here feeling good that you went to South Kitsap High School, that you're proud to have gone here, and that you have a good education.
Well, that about wraps it up. Except I would like to thank Mr. Colombini for letting us do this project, giving us his time. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. Thank you.
Hi, Mom.
And now we have a very uplifting story, or maybe you could just say a lifting story. Rob Collins has the details to this very unusual class here at South.
Drive by South Kitsap High School these days, and you might see something besides cars in the parking lot. No, it's not a construction site. This parking lot is actually a classroom. This is the woodshop class, taught by Mr. Tim Schaefer.
Well, this is a forklift driver training course that we do at the beginning of every year. And the purpose, I guess, behind it is to give employable skills to our students. And it's a 10-hour safety course on forklift driver training. And it usually takes us about 3 weeks to get everyone kind of rotated through the driving and the written test and the theory behind how to use the lift truck.
There is a total of 15 students, and these students are hardworking and they practice every day, hoping to earn a certificate that says they passed the class. Lift truck driving is just one of the many skills they learn in this class, and they're all designed to help them get a head start on a career.
It's more of a hands-on class, and the teacher's cool and all that stuff, so it's pretty cool.
And is it hard driving the forklift?
No, because they teach it before from a book, so it's pretty easy after you're driving it a while and you know everything about the forklift out of the book, so they teach everything already, so.
It's more hands-on, and they supply the tools for you, and then you get to build a house.
Well, usually, I guess, it's somewhat comical, I guess, just to watch some of the students for the first time. On here, its steering is kind of backwards. The front tires are fixed, and the back tires move, so watching the students maneuver for the first time, usually they want to turn one way and they go the exact opposite of what they do, so. Of course, I don't know if we should laugh at them, but it does make everyone grin somewhat.
Okay. And at the end of the try, they must pass a final drive test to see if they can properly operate a forklift.
Looks like a lot of fun to me. I hope someday they'll let me have a try at that. And now, back to Jessica.
In more traditional classrooms, a lot of students have problems. Across the country, the high school student dropout rate is extremely high. We want to show you some very special people that are helping keep kids in school. Here's Justin Kaiser with the story.
Look in the halls of South Kitsap High School, and you see a huge variety of people. People from all walks of life, from all over the world. Everyone is different, and everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. One weakness, about 14% of these students, nearly 350 kids, have learning disabilities. And without extra help, that leads to big problems.
I'm afraid they would drop out by the time they got to high school. In the years before, when we didn't have special ed services, that's what happened. The students could not make it in school, and they dropped out. This allows the students to stay in school and graduate with their class.
Mrs. Mary Forsey has taught for 28 years and has been working with kids who have learning disabilities for 16 years. She says one of the main problems she helps kids with is reading.
I would say primarily reading. Basically, most of the special ed students, they have dyslexia or they have reading problems. Somewhere along the line, they did not learn to read along with their peers. And that is primarily the problem that most of the high school students have, is in reading.
Ryan Yapez is one of the students that gets help from Mrs. Forsey. He's had a long history of problems in the classroom.
When you have a speaking and comprehension problem, standing up in front of people, 36 people, and looking at them and having to give an oral report can be pretty terrifying. And not understanding the material can even make it even worse. And you're always afraid you're going to get laughed at or something, so I just never gave oral reports until I got into special ed.
But thanks to one-on-one assistance from the special ed program at South, and with dedicated teachers like Mrs. Forsey, Ryan is doing much better.
It's helped me to have self-confidence in myself and courage to stand up in front of people and give a speaking oral report and be able to answer questions and not get laughed at or anything like that. So.
Ryan is just one of the many success stories. One of the students who, for a variety of reasons, don't have the skills they need to succeed. Often it's just a problem of confidence, a fear to ask for help.
I'd probably be dropped out by now, given up. Even with my mom's support, I'd probably just quit because I couldn't understand it or get frustrated and leave. So I'm glad for this IEP program.
A staff of 24 special ed instructors and support staff are working hard to give their students a boost in their adult life, skills that will last a lifetime.
Now that's a success story. We have a lot more coming up for you after this public service announcement.
Too many late nights partying until you drop. Too many failing efforts at your own school? Too many joints? Too many hangovers? Too much of a stupid thing. If you or someone you care about is struggling with a drug or alcohol problem, get help. Talk to an adult that you trust or call this number. Because if life is tough now, it won't get any better the way you're heading.
Thanks to high-profile events like the Olympics, volleyball is booming in popularity in our country, and that is true as well here at South. Mike Smith has a story. The South Kitsap girls volleyball team is back in action. As of early October, the South Kitsap varsity girls has a record of 3-3. They're off to their best start in recent years. Coached by Miss Mary Pugh, the team has several top players who have been key to the team's improvement. Lindsay Foster is one of only 2 returning varsity players. She's an outside hitter, and the coach says she's one of the best servers on the team. Lindsay, how did you get involved in volleyball?
I got involved in like 8th grade because all my buddies like Kaylee Green, Lindsay Peterson, Erica, they all started playing, so I wanted to be cool and play volleyball too. I never played before, but so I just play with them. I played all the way up to my senior year right now, I guess.
Rochelle Cooper is the only sophomore on varsity. She leads the team in kills, thanks to her excellent spiking ability. How do you think the team will perform this season?
So far we're 2-1. I think that we haven't really got to our potential point how we could be, but we're working well together, and I think later on in the season we'll come through and we'll be a really good team in the end.
Erica Lamalu is the other returning senior, and she's a team captain. Erica is a real team player and leads the team in assists. How do you feel the team will perform this season?
I think we'll do all right. Better than last year. We have a lot of key hitters and people that can get the ball up and people that really hustle, so we work hard in practice. We're doing our best.
There's still several games left in the season, and it's still too early to predict if they'll see the postseason action. But no matter how it turns out, the team has had a great time and is a great representative of South Kitsap School District. If you'd like to see these women in action, our next home game is October 21st at 4 o'clock, right here at South.
Another fall sport at South is women's soccer. Long gone are the days when women were just content sitting on the sidelines. Here's Nathan Boehme with the story.
The women's soccer program has always been looked upon with respect. It has been seen by the community as one of the many successful South Kitsap sports programs. But what is it like for the girls on the field? Today, we take a look.
I got something for you, man.
On the field, it's clear that the girls have a lot of skill. It's also obvious that they didn't get these skills overnight.
Okay, what got me into soccer was I have 2 older brothers, and the oldest brother, he started playing when he was about 6. And I don't know, my brothers have pretty much been my role models all through my life, so anything that they did or that they wanted to do, I was all about that.
I started playing soccer when I was 5. My mom wanted me to get involved in something because I had so much energy, so I began playing when I was 5, and I've been playing ever since, and I really like it.
The team this year is currently undefeated, and it's clear when they play that there's a real chemistry between them.
The team this year, I think, is really awesome. We have a lot of good freshmen and players that played JV last year that came up this year, and they've worked well with the team. And
as far as senior leadership. We have a lot of seniors that are a good base for our team.
We have a lot of mental things together. Like, I mean, you don't have to say anything. You can point or you can make a look. You just know what the other person's doing. And that's one really good thing about the way our team plays.
Everybody is really well and they work well together.
So it's clear that the team has got skill. But what about the players themselves? What is it about this game that keeps them playing it?
The thing I like most about playing soccer would be the intensity. And when you walk off the field after a game and you know you've played well, it's like the best feeling ever. You know, you have so much self-worth.
The thing I like most about playing soccer is the team and the way you unify when you're on the field.
I like the sport because it's like, you know, competitive and you can be aggressive and you think a lot with your head, which most people don't really know about. But the game is a lot about anticipation and just thinking and seeing. So. All right.
Okay, because I need to start over with that one. So start over.
What do you like
okay.
most about playing soccer? Stage 2. What do you like most about playing soccer?
If you'd like a chance to see the women's soccer team in action, their next home game is October 27th, 3:30 p.m. Here's Pat.
This is our second year here at South of the video production class, and it has taken us that long to attempt to tackle the challenges to bring SK Sports on cable TV. For the first time ever, a full production of South Kitsap football is finally on TV. Flipping through the channels on a Saturday afternoon, you probably caught a glimpse of it while watching those other big games. Wondering how this game was put all together? Well, by the South Kitsap Advanced and Professional Video Production class and West Sound Communications. Sure, the game on TV looks awesome, but for the staff of video production, we put in 100% effort to make this game look that great. Setting up as early as 2 o'clock in the afternoon to run cables and set up the cameras is where all the bulk of the work goes, and then by 7 o'clock, it's lights, camera, action.
She lives for me, says she lives for me, ovation. Who won't motivation? She comes round and she goes down on me. And I make you smile like I try for you. Do ever what you wanna do, coming over you. Keep on smiling what we go through. One stop to the rhythm that defines you. And I speak to you like the chorus to the verse. Drop another line like a coda with the curse. Coming like a freak show takes the stage. We give them the game.
Our next game will be October 30th, which is homecoming, and you can see our broadcast the next day on Saturday at noon on public access. We'll be right back.
They seem like normal everyday teenagers, like you and me. But on the minds of some teenagers is the thought of suicide. In the state of Washington alone, there are an average of 2 youth suicides a week. Suicide. It doesn't have to happen. Know the signs before it's too late. A previous suicide attempt, signs of depression, increased use of drugs and alcohol, withdrawal. If these signs are noticeable, seek help. Remember, youth suicide does not have to happen. For more information, call Kitsap Crisis Center at 479-3033 or 1-800-843-4793.
We plan to bring you a regular feature on Wolf Tracks called Student and Staff Spotlight. CJ Lupica introduced us to a great student and a great musician.
Hello and welcome to South Kitsap Student Spotlight. I'm CJ Lupica, and with me today is a very special guest. He comes with a variety of physical talents and attributes. His name is Austin Kershaw. Austin, I can't thank you enough for joining me today on South Kitsap Spotlight.
It's my pleasure.
That's great.
My pleasure.
If you don't mind, I got a few questions, to clarify, who you are, what you're about. What is it exactly physically that you like to do?
Well, I'm involved in, I play soccer and I play baseball, and I'm a drummer for a local band called Madcap. I don't know if anybody's heard of us, and I'm really involved with music and sports, and it's pretty much like everything that I do, it involves music and sports. So.
Well, you're a well-tuned guy. I know you play a lot of soccer.
Yeah.
Is this a really tough and competitive sport? Tell me a little about it.
Oh yeah, my team's, we're pretty good this year because you're on my team, yeah, it's pretty physical. It's fun though. I couldn't think of anything else that I'd like to do better. So I don't know, it's really great.
So you're a drummer on a band?
Yeah. I've been drumming for about 5 years now.
5 years?
Yeah.
Madcap, how did you guys come up with that name? Is it just, flare of idea?
Well, I've only been in the band for like about a year, and they had the name before I was even in it, so I don't know how they got it. It's a pretty good name though, I like it.
Yeah, it is a good name.
It fits us pretty good.
Yeah. So you involve yourself with a lot of music. What type of music do you like?
Well, mostly like the heavier kind of stuff, like Metallica and Tool and Cold Chamber and just stuff like that. It's really fun to play, and it's what I've grown up with. So, I mean, I couldn't think of listening to anything else.
I know that you won a very important award 2 years ago at your graduating year of Cedar Heights. What award was that?
I got the most inspirational student out of all the 9th graders, and I was pretty proud of that, but I like it.
Most inspirational student, huh?
Yeah.
Ah. So Austin, what do you want to do when you grow up? You want to play your music? Do you want to play soccer? What is it that you want to do?
Well, I'd like to play music the rest of my life, but if that doesn't work out, then I plan on going to college for about 2 or 3 years, maybe major in philosophy or criminal psychology or something like that.
Austin, thanks again for showing up. It really means a lot to us. I'm CJ Lupica, and this is South Kitsap Student Spotlight. See you next time.
Thanks, CJ. One of our traditions here at South is for us upper class members to have fun at the expense of the underclass members. But we're not talking about hazing. But when a batch of sophomores, about 900 or so, come and pack and jam the hallways, you can't help but get annoyed by their lack of hallway etiquette. Andy Godsey offers us some humorous hallway tips for sophomores.
Every year here at South, hundreds of new sophomores pile into our crowded hallways, which makes it that much harder for us juniors and seniors to get to class. With the collaboration of Skookum Views and video production, we've compiled some helpful hints to help you sophomores through your first year. You basically follow the rules of driving, but since a lot of you sophomores still ride the cheese wagon, I'll elaborate, and I'll use small words. The IPDE process is the key to defensive hall walking. Any good hall walker will tell you that. And since a lot of you sophomores aren't the biggest guys in the world, I suggest you learn.
Let's run this through a few scenarios. 2 classic sophomores walking down an empty hallway, but this time they're walking on the left side. Little did they know there's 2 rather large football players coming towards them. First, the sophomores need to identify the problem. Second, the sophomores need to predict what's going to happen to them. After this, the sophomores need to decide what they're going to do to avoid this. After that, they need to execute what they decided. That was close, but not good enough. Let's run it through one more scenario.
Getting to your lockers on the left side from the right side.
Oh no!
Oh yes. A lot of you sophomores will walk around with full backpacks this year because of this problem, but we can help.
Really?
No, not really, but we'll try our best.
Thanks, Andy.
Don't call me that.
Okay.
This hallway is a bit too crowded for our little sophomore. Let's bring him into what we can call a little bit more safe environment. Now, in this situation, the sophomore needs to work his way to the middle of the hallway. As soon as he finds a gap, he needs to take it, but make sure the gap is not before his locker. It's still possible he can slide his way along the lockers against the flow of traffic. But if there's a locker open blocking his path, then give up, my friend. Just join the mob again and start all over. Now, he should work his way past his locker and then find a gap, and then take it. Now, and then you can work your way to your locker, but make sure you have the right locker, or else you run the risk of looking very, very stupid. Well, sophomore, now that you made it, rejoice, because you might not be able to make this long journey again.
Well, sophomores, that's all I can show you this episode of Hallway Harmony. And even though you don't have all the keys to walk safely through the halls, you have a little bit. So don't be discouraged because you're not stupid. Well, you're not, well, just don't get discouraged. We'll see you next time on Hallway Harmony.
No one, and I mean no one, was injured in the story, especially the sophomores.
Looks like we're out of time. That's it for the show. We want to thank you for spending some time with us.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this show. I'll see you guys again in mid-November with more good stories from the highways and hallways from South Kitsap School District. See you guys later.
Bye. Across the country, the dropout rate is extremely high for South Kitsap. Not just South Kitsap. Baby! Okay.
This is the second year here at South of our video production class, and it has taken us that long to attempt to challenge. This is the second year here at South of the video production class, and it has taken us that long to attempt the challenges. This is our second year here at South of the video production class, and it has taken us that long to attempt to tackle the challenges of sports. Okay, ready? No one, and I mean no one, was hurt, especially sophomores, during the taping of that story.
Boy, time sure flies when you're having fun.
Boy, yeah!
Boy!